Hello everyone, I'd like to share my Sara build and her team comps with you in the short guide. I'm starting with her build, then go over her team comps and at the end some Abyss gameplay.
Absorption test. Quiver. No turning back. Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered.
Sara is a support character. She provides an attack buff and has some energy generation on the same button. Her ultimate burst skill also deals a decent amount of damage. With this, she kind of fits a similar role as Bennett, though to be honest she can't really compete with him. But she's still a good addition to your Abyss roster, because you now have a second attack buffer for your other Abyss team. One major downside in my opinion is you definitely want to have Constellation 2 because it changes her gameplay in a big way. If you have it, you only have to press E and it automatically places the attack buff. If you don't have it, you have to perform a fully charged shot to place the attack buff. And obviously that increases the time you have to spend on this character before switching off by a lot. Sara actually uses a pretty standard support build. Attack, crit rate, crit damage, electro bonus damage and energy recharge. Her elemental burst skill is quite expensive, so you need quite a bit of energy recharge, and she gets a benefit every 100 energy recharge, so you might as well build 200. I recommend building close to exactly 200, just make sure that you actually hit 200. For her talents, you actually want to focus her E skill, since it's the attack buffing skill. Then you can, for extra damage, increase the level of your elemental burst skill, and you can ignore the normal attacks. Her constellations are mostly personal damage. You really want to have Constellation 2 for the reasons given. Her Constellation 6 looks really interesting and really strong. Unfortunately, it's only valuable to electro characters, and so it only has limited use. The only characters I can think of are Keqing and Raiden, and essentially it does, if you attack buff your character, the electro damage that this character deals will have 60% increased crit damage, which is obviously a huge. Crit damage is a very high value stat. For our weapons, obviously anything that has crit rate, crit damage or attack would work. I recommend energy recharge as substat. You obviously have the sacrificial bow or the Favonius war bow as options. Everyone gets the Favonius bow from the Archon questline with a Storm Terror, so I just recommend this one, and it has very high energy recharge, so it makes it very easy to hit the 200 energy recharge overall. For her artifacts, we already covered substats earlier. For main stats, generally I'd say attack percentage here. If you don't have a bow with energy recharge, you can make up for it by picking energy recharge main stat here. Always electro damage bonus here, and generally it's crit rate or crit damage here, whichever one balances your stats better. If you have, like me, an attack percentage main stat with pretty much godlike substats, it would feel like a waste not to use it. You can do this. For the set effect, I think there's only one good option. It's the Noblesse set 4-piece, because her ultimate burst skill provides her own attack buff, and this is basically a win more option. You can get the Noblesse set from this domain. For team compositions, you can obviously pick the standard formula: a main DPS, 2 supports and a healer. Since Sara is a support, you only need to pick one of each in the remaining 3 slots. Since all she really does is provide an attack buff, similar to Bennett, you can pretty much pair her with anything. Though I don't love the idea to put her in a melt or vaporize comp, because the random electro application can make things a little awkward. My first recommendation is a freeze comp. First you need a main DPS, for example physical DPS Rosaria. Now you need a Hydro support, for example Jingshou, and a random healer like Barbara. For options, if you don't have anything, you can pick Kea. It's not optimal. Better would be something like Ganyu or Ayaka. For the Hydro support, you can pick something like Jingshou, but the best slot is obviously Mona. And If you are running something like Ayaka or Ganyu that deals cryo damage, you can pick a healer that is Anemo to apply the Viridescent set effect, Jin or Sayu. You can obviously do it the other way around and pick a Hydro main DPS, that would be Shield, and pick a cryo support, for example Kayle. Other main DPS that aren't reliant on Vaporize or Melt would be, for example, Zhao, or physical DPS like Eula or Razor. If you pick Razor, you obviously need another cryo character to enable Superconduct. You could pick Kaeya or use any support and replace Barbara with Diona. And the last option would be a Geo comp with Ningguang. Obviously, her best support to enable Geo Resonance would be Zhongli, but you could always pick an Albedo or the Geo version of the Traveler. The last thing to note is, if you have Constellation 6 Sara, you obviously want to build a comp that mainly deals electro damage. So the first thing is, you want a Viridescent set Anemo character to lower the electro resistance. Kazuha is the best option, Sucrose or Venti work as well. If you have Jin or Sayu as a healer, you obviously don't need another Anemo character and can pick any other support like Zhongli, for example. And in the last slot you need to have your electro damage character. I think the only options are either Raiden Shogun or Keqing on an electro build. Now let me demonstrate this really quick. Sara is actually really easy to use. All you need to do is either press your elemental burst skill or your elemental skill and switch to the main DPS, and you will get your attack buff, like this. And you can refresh it now, and again attack buff. This time I actually thought about getting to Abyss 12 before recording this, so if you haven't seen my last videos, don't worry about that comment. And I actually recorded a second clip as well with a way weaker team, because the video was kind of short, and if you're kind of a newer player, you might find this more relatable as well, so you maybe get something out of it. And with this, I'm gonna leave you with the gameplay.
Time for takeoff. Here. Crush. Quiver. Beg for mercy. Flood of frost. Eye for an eye. More speed. Think you can bully me? Strike!
My blade!
Don't waste my time. Submit! It's nothing.
How's this? Going somewhere?
Look at you, Foodtail! Storm the front! Quiver!
How's this?
Your life is mine.
To the fairy? How's this?
Strike! Don't waste my time. Submit! Give up. Ayana Special! Flash! Lord! Don't waste my time. Give up. It's nothing. Your life is mine. Don't waste my time. Can't handle your drink. Storm the front. It's nothing. Don't waste my time.
Alright, we made it to the end. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration for your own builds, and stay tuned for more guides in the future. Until then, have fun in Tevat, and bye bye.